We are recording this session so you can use it as a resource. You can find it later on our parent program's website, and we will send you the link as well. My name is Alejandra Soule, your host for the evening. And joining me here tonight are other members of our parent team. Daisy Guerrero.
Welcome, Round Rock ISD families, and thank you for joining us tonight.
And Debbie Mata.
Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
So glad you are here tonight. And where you are only seeing 3 of us, there is an entire parent team which exists to connect the home and the school. We work together for your students' success. Now, a bit of housekeeping first. This session will last 30 minutes, and we really want you to feel comfortable participating with us. We understand how busy families are, so we are going to keep the mics off, and we're going to use the chat to connect and interact. As you can see right now on your screen, the closed captions are turned on now. They're showing the subtitles for our conversation. And if you don't need them, it's easy. You can turn them off. Just click in the bottom of your screen where it says live transcript and select hide subtitle. The chat feature is also on the bottom of your screen. If you sign in earlier, you've already used it, so no worries. But if you haven't signed in, please type your name now and tell us about your elementary school. I'll give you a moment to do this. I want to hear from everyone. Lots of parents. Thank you. Debbie, who do you see here with us tonight?
I think that the entire city of Round Rock is here tonight. We have people from all over Round Rock ISD. We have people from Laurel Mountain Elementary, Canyon Creek, Wells Branch, Union Hill, Bluebonnet, Berkman, Blackland Prairie, Jolie Johnson, Double File Trail. I mean, we have every single school here represented tonight. And I am so glad that you're here with us. This is a great start. There's
so good to hear from
right now at this moment. If you hear that ding.
Yes, I'm still looking at it. Good.
Yes.
I'm happy you're here with us. Now, let's try another virtual tool and see what you think.
All right, well, welcome everyone. And this is so exciting just to see all of our families that are joining us tonight. So, but yes, so this is a fun and interactive tool for these virtual meetings. Now, the poll that we're going to take, it's pretty easy. All you need to do is click on your choice under your questions. So the questions are, is this your first child going to middle school? And the second one is, how confident or comfortable do you feel about your child moving to middle school? So just go ahead and choose your option, and just don't forget to hit submit. It's right underneath. So we want to hear from all of you, and this gives us an idea how, you know, everyone is feeling in this group.
I know how I feel.
Yes. And while you're responding, I'm thinking about my own experience with my son. And although he is in high school now, I still remember how I felt when he transitioned to middle school. And I'm not going to lie, parents, I felt a little nervous. So if some of you are feeling the same way, we share the same feeling of that transition. So I had so many questions on my mind. Will he be able to find his classes? You know, the middle school that he was transitioning to was much, much bigger than his elementary school. Will he be confused with so many food choices? And, you know, there weren't so many back in elementary. Will he have a locker? And, you know, just the list went on and on. I just had so many questions. But let me assure you, parents, that we tend to be the ones that worry the most. Our kiddos do really well, and they become so independent and faster than you think. So I hope this brings a little comfort to all of you.
That's a good point, Daisy. Thank you.
Yes. All right, so I'm trying to see how everyone is feeling. Okay, we should get those results.
It's pretty neat to see it filling up so quickly. We have so many people here.
Yes, we're giving you a little bit longer because I do see a lot of people still choosing. So we'll get those results.
Excited to see how you guys are feeling.
And there you are. Everyone's going to see those results pop up. And I see that we actually have more than half of our parents that say yes, this is their first child going to middle school. All right, so as far as how we're feeling, and as you can see up on your screen, we do have, we have quite a bit, almost half of our parents feeling a little nervous. And again, that's exactly how I felt. So this is normal, and don't worry, we'll get through this together. So what do you think, Alejandra?
So true. I was so nervous when my kids were about to move to middle school because both of them are so different. So I had to really look at them and see what they were thinking about also. But don't worry, parents, we're all in this together, so we can do this. And we're here to help you as well. Now, our goals for tonight are very easy. The first one is prepare for the 5th grade transition event hosted by your campus. Now, this might be virtual this time because of the pandemic, and understand the importance of the choice sheets and their role in your child's long-term academic plan. Debbie, are we ready to go? Do you see more families?
It's still not slowing down. We still have quite a few people entering, but oh my goodness, we've got Canyon Creek Elementary here. Laurel Mountain, as we had before. People are still signing in, and it's not too late. If you are just now getting here, go ahead and put your name in the chat and the elementary school that you're coming from. I think this conversation will be a really helpful start for all of us. I know it will be for me. And I'll be checking this chat box tonight, so feel free to comment here. Bear with me because this is a large group, but we will answer what we can, and we'll also follow up with you with more information and resources.
Absolutely. Thank you, Debbie. Let's get started. After the winter break, you will be invited to attend a 5th grade transition event. In the past, this has always been in person, but this year will likely be an online event. This event will cover all the details specific to your middle school campus, like the ones listed here. Meeting the middle school principals and counselors. Some schools may offer virtual tours of their campus, so check that out. Learn about electives, such as band, art, dance, orchestra. School traditions and events. Dress for PE, and review the choice sheets. Now, before the scheduled event, your middle school counselor will visit the kiddos, the 5th graders, and share some of this information. So it won't be the first time they hear about it. Now, this will be a great opportunity for you and your soon-to-be 6th grader to talk about these things. If this is new to you, trust me, it can feel and seem overwhelming, but don't worry. We'll send you a sample list of questions to get you started, and you can add your own as you prepare with your student. Now, here are some recommendations for students. How much homework will I have? How can I check my grades? How much time really do I have to switch between classes? How many electives can I choose? And for parents, just something to think about. How much homework will my child will have? How can I check the grades? How much time will I have to switch? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading the student again. I am so sorry.
That's all right.
What is the grading system? How much time would my child spend on homework? How often will I hear from the teacher? And there are more than one. What are the options for transportation? Again, just sit down with your student. You know them best. Ask them questions they have about moving to middle school. As a matter of fact, let's add your list. We want to hear from you. If you want to put it on the chat as well, just add your questions and we'll combine them with our questions and send the whole list to you. That would be great to hear from you.
That's a great idea, Alejandra. What a great idea to get started, because we just have some starter questions for you. I think we could easily make a list of over 100 questions right now. So since we are going to send this back out to you, let's make a list of questions together based on the start list that Alejandra gave us, and just type your questions in the chat. That doesn't mean we're going to be able to get to all the answers. We're going to compile all those questions together, but we'll answer what we can. And a lot of these may be specific to your campus. And so that would be difficult to give a broad answer for, but we will get back to you. Looking here, we've got about picking classes and how many minutes are each of the classes. Is middle school now on a block schedule? Right now they are. These are great, guys. Keep them coming. We want these questions in here, and we'll save all of this and send it back out to you. Does each campus have electives?
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This one talks a lot about 504 or IEP. And I mean, the number one thing is make sure you participate in those 504 meetings. Let's see. Will it work for both? Yes, it does transition. They're asking if that transitions to middle school. So will your 504 or your IEP, if your student has one of those plans, it's going to follow them to middle school. How can I check grades?
Well, there's always the Home Access Center. So you can always check in there. If you haven't used that, ask the front office, the registrar, and they will be glad to help you with that, set that up.
And I also saw a question in there of, if they have PE clothes, and they do provide PE clothes. It's at a low cost. You can ask, and this is information that you will find and get more of once you go to your transition night. A lot of them are specific, so it may vary from middle school to middle school, but these are great questions.
A lot of people are asking about the schedule for just what time does middle school start and end, which is something I ran into with my kids because it is different from elementary. So it starts at 8:20 and ends at 3:35.
Great question.
Another question, do parents pick their electives or do kids pick their electives? And and there's some more questions about choice sheets, and we're going to talk about those next. So yes, please continue to add these questions in here. We are going to have a huge list to share together, and obviously we need this community. So I really appreciate you guys providing your input.
Yes, these are great questions. I wish I had this when my son was moving to middle school, for sure. Keep them coming. I can see some of them now. Yes. Watch for the date of your upcoming 5th grade transition event. It may be already scheduled and posted on the school website. But again, sit down together with your student and come up with all the questions you can think, all of this that you have in here and more that we will be providing for you. Not only will it help you prepare for the event, but it will be a great start to an ongoing conversation that you and your new middle schooler will want to have throughout the year.
All right.
Now, the second goal today is to help you prepare for the choice sheets. Just so many questions about it. Now, we hear a lot about choice sheets. A choice sheet is just a course selection form where your child gets to decide or choose some of the classes that they will take in 6th grade. For example, in math, language, and electives. Now, the classes your child will choose for 6th grade can determine what classes your child will take in future grades. Daisy, can you share more about this with math?
Absolutely, Alejandra. So the type of math your child chooses in middle school will determine your child's math path. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that one more time because this is very important, families. The type of math your child chooses in middle school will determine the math path throughout high school. So, just these are some questions to consider. And please remember, you don't have to write them down. This presentation will be emailed to you. So what math path should my student take? What is accelerated math? So we may also have parents thinking, my son does okay in math, but it's not his strongest subject. Should he take accelerated math? And this is a question, this is a really good question to bring up to your child's counselor or even your child's math teacher in case you're wanting a little bit of advice or guidance with that. They would be the people to go to. Other questions to consider: why is it important to take Algebra 1 in 8th grade? Now, counselors can explain this a lot better by taking Algebra 1 in middle school and what it does for your child in high school. So other questions would be also, is accelerated math an option for my child? Who decides? Can I advocate for my student and have counselors change the suggested math choice? Alejandra?
Thank you, Daisy. I was seeing all the questions that we have in here, and some are very specific to your questions. So the best way to get answers for that would be to contact your current counselor, and we will send you a list also with the all the counselors from Round Rock ISD, so you can email them directly. Thank you for it. Just keep them coming. We will print them out and answer those and send them back to you all. But while Daisy was reading these questions, made me realize and think back when my son was a 5th grader. His teacher asked me, well, is he okay with taking accelerated math in 6th grade? And well, as a parent coming from another country, oh my goodness, this was all new to me. I had no idea what she was talking about. So I asked her at that time, well, does my child get to decide as well? Because I wasn't doing the math. And also, left me wondering, what about other kiddos? And what if they don't realize they have this opportunity? So just my advice to you parents, ask your current teacher those questions. And again, the counselor, and you'll be fine. You'll be okay.
That's great advice, Alejandra.
Yeah, it worked out really well for us.
Good. I'm glad.
David, your son is in 6th grade now. How did you decide about math?
Yes, we just went through this. He is in 6th grade right now. And I was overwhelmed with hearing things like choice sheets and electives. So Alejandra, I can't imagine how it was for you coming in new to the country and sorting through all the terminology and information in a completely different school system. So that gives me some perspective. But for us, I learned about accelerated math when I went to my son's 5th grade transitions event. This was before the pandemic, so ours was live. Yours will likely be online. But I learned that accelerated math is a combination of 6th and 7th grade math so that they can take Algebra 1 in 8th grade. And I wanted him to do that so he can have more opportunities in high school to try different science or math fields that may interest him. But I wanted to make sure he was up for it too, because I was worried about the stress of it on top of the whole big change to middle school. And they offer lots of extra support for 6th grade accelerated math. So we decided to go for it. And I did talk with the counselor and the 6th grade assistant principal, and someone had just asked about this, can the math path be adjusted? And they assured me that if we hit, really tough roadblocks, that they would work with us. But so far we've had challenges. It's been hard, but he's learning so much. And he's had so much help and encouragement from his teacher, and it's his favorite class. He loves math, and his confidence has just skyrocketed. So he obviously needed a challenge, and he is rising to it, and he's doing a great job.
That's good to hear, Debbie. My son ended taking it, and he did just fine. He didn't even need my help, so I'm glad he made that choice as well. Do we have anything going on in the chat? It comes real fast, but I appreciate you parents talking to each other in there and answering questions. There are so many, I can't even keep up with it.
I know, I'm trying to speed read here.
I see that too.
Our team's doing a good job of jumping in to answer questions as well. So thank you. One of the questions was, is there a drummer in 6th grade? And that if you choose band, that is one of the instruments, but they refer to it as percussion because it's not just drums. But you'll be able to talk to your campus about that. Those electives are really fun. And each campus has so many choices, all the way from campus to campus, they're different, but each one offers a huge variety. So when it comes to electives and language, there are lots of choices, and also that can also affect future classes that you might want to take. So some of the questions that parents have that are just a start, and to this huge long list that you guys are helping us put together, but parents want to know, what are those fine arts options like art and band and music? Oh my goodness, there's so many neat ones. Can high school credits be earned? Will my child take PE or athletics in 6th grade? And what foreign languages are available for my child at this campus? So Daisy, didn't you have some experience with that, with foreign languages?
I did, Debbie. So this is experience. As I mentioned earlier, my son is in high school and he's a junior, so he's about to graduate pretty soon. But back when he was in middle school, I wasn't sure if he wanted to take a foreign language. But let me tell you, families, I am so glad he did. Not only did he get credit for high school, but he also got the required credits for language in high school as well. So now he's been able to take advantage of choosing, a amount of other classes that he found very interesting. So that is actually one of the best things that he chose early on. And there's so many different languages and it does vary sometimes from middle school to middle school. So that's another thing, that just make sure that you get that information through your transitions night, what languages are being offered at your specific middle school. Yeah, so anyway, so this was the best thing that he did at the time. So yes, check with your counselor, check with the your child's counselor if you have any specific questions in regards to language as well. Debbie.
Yes, I'm a little overwhelmed here. We've got so
Yes.
many questions. So I promise you guys, we will get back to you on a lot of these, and they're really good. Now I'm thinking of more things that I hadn't even thought of before. Let me just throw a few out. One of the big questions that we get also that has been repeated several times is about transitioning from virtual to on campus or to virtual again. If you've been in virtual school in elementary and you're moving up to middle school. And the one thing is that as of right now, it's going to continue to be the way it is with Schoology. So it's so great that they've learned that and they figured that out. And there's a lot of questions about how to support those students and things. And I can just say from my experience with my 6th grader this year, just trying to manage expectations. One of the things I didn't think about was how, with so many different classes, how would he organize his assignments? And the teachers have been super helpful. It's incredible, y'all. These teachers are amazing. And so at first that was really hard for him. He thought the teachers were trying to tell him what he was doing wrong. He thought maybe he was in trouble, until he realized, and we talked more about it, that they're trying to help you and they're learning this new Schoology platform in rapid time. So they're gonna get the hang of it, and they're gonna have so much support from their staff with those transitions, and the teachers are gonna be in communication with you for every little concern that you have. So definitely be confident in that and rest assured in that. Yes, the library is gonna be open, Eric. And let's see. Yes, we're gonna get follow-up questions. I'm trying to go all the way back.
Yes, we will keep an eye on it.
Yes, we'll keep an eye on it, and yes.
But I'm glad to hear from all of you. It's great, this conversation that you guys are having in here. So good.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on for a minute from the chat. And you know what, while you're typing, we don't only want your questions or comments, but we want to hear from your experiences, especially if you had one already moving to middle school. We would like to hear that because, we learn from each other, right?
Absolutely, we do.
So just share those with us. We'd love to hear from you. Now, it's important to discuss the courses that your child wants to take and to look ahead and see where they lead for future options. The middle school, again, counselors are amazing. This is what they do for a living. So they are the best to come and ask these questions. They are extremely helpful and they are responsive to any question, really. They are not wrong or silly questions. So make sure that you talk to them as well as your current child's teacher. Now, there is a deadline for completing the choice sheet, so make sure to submit it on time if you want the best chance of getting your first choices. And you will see it's just a simple form. I see some of the questions in there. You'll want to watch for the choice sheet this time electronically, and if you're familiar with Google Form, it will more than likely be just like that, and you'll just have to pick the choices. Just keep an eye on your email or check the website, check again with your counselor. Debbie, do you see anything in the chat? I can just see it explode. Can you tell me something?
Yes, it's flying by. And it's so neat to have these fifth graders here too. And I hope that you guys also participate when you have your fifth grade transition night, because that's the chance to ask all those questions about your locker and PE and things that are very specific to your school, and to learn about clubs. The middle schools have amazing clubs, so many clubs that would be really difficult to choose from. So there's so many opportunities. It's just a fun time for all of you. I know that someone asked also how to get in touch with the counselors and how to contact the counselors. So we're going to send that out to you. So you'll have a list of contact information and the counselors for your campus as well. The choice sheets will probably, the one question is, when do we get the choice sheets? And they'll come out in the spring, and they will come from the counselors or the fifth grade teachers. And they will give you the deadline for it. You'll know it's coming because the counselors will have visited your fifth grader and they'll be talking about it. And so then your fifth grader will have a lot of incentive and pressure to make sure that you fill that out. And it will definitely be online this year. Let me see. We are running out of time so quickly.
Yes.
I know.
One of the things that we are going to do is we're going to stay online. You know, we set aside 30 minutes for tonight, and we have a huge group here. So there's a huge need that we see. So we will continue to stay online, but we want to make sure that we have as much covered as possible in the 30 minutes we have scheduled so that we can honor your time. But if you want to stay on, we'll have some discussion afterwards. And we may even need to schedule like a coffee chat or some sort of a forum to get more of these answered, because I know everyone's anxious about it, but I promise that your campus will walk you through step by step, and your counselor will help a ton. It's just amazing how much information you get and how many times they try to get it to you in multiple ways.
That's true, Debbie. We're all parent liaison and the parent team. So this is what we do. We're here to help you. You're not alone. So we'll send all the information so you're not feeling that it's just too much. You can do it.
Yes.
I want you to know that even though I did it this year, I have a fifth grader this year too. So I'll be doing it all again.
Oh my goodness, Debbie, you're going to be an expert.
I'm not so sure about that, but the kids are so resilient. They have made so many adjustments. The teachers are amazing. And so I think this is a great start for us, at least to help get those questions ready so that we know what to ask. And I'm feeling better. I'm really feeling better with hundreds of questions available for me to use that I get to share. Let's take a poll and see how everybody's feeling.
Yes, I want to hear about your feelings now.
If we have any, do you feel any better or do you feel worse? We may have raised more questions.
All right, there's the poll. I see it.
Yeah, it's still loading. 36. All right.
We have so many families in here. We really appreciate you being in here.
I think I really appreciate your point, Daisy, how the kids follow our lead in this time of uncertainty. I think that that's one thing that the point that really hit home with me is just with so much uncertainty and so many unknowns, as comfortable as I can be with it will help my child to be more comfortable. And I needed that reminder because this is my baby going to middle school this next year. All right, we've got a lot of answers here. We have a pretty good balance, but most people feel great. 39 or 35% feel great. And we still have a few that are really anxious. And I think that's everybody else in between. It's all so normal, just depending where you are on the process, but we're going to make sure that you're prepared and walk alongside you this whole way.
So true. And it's normal the way you feel right now. But if I did it back then, you guys can do it. Sí se puede.
Yes.
Okay, we want to hear from you again. This is fun just to be listening to you guys. I want to know if you think that we reach our goal, if we reach our goals. Now, remember, we wanted to think of how to prepare for the 5th grade transition event and also understanding the importance of the choice sheets. What do you guys think? Did we meet these goals tonight?
Let us know, yes or no.
Okay, so
Stay with us.
yes, so as we explained earlier, just be on the lookout for those parent meetings transitioning to middle school hosted by your campus, most likely online. Prepare your questions, and as Alejandra said, it's a good idea to write them down so you don't forget them, and the parent meeting will be a great time to ask them. Also, start those important conversations with your student. Parents, have fun choosing those electives. I saw a lot of questions on electives, and believe me, it may seem a little overwhelming, but once you get all the information and your child starts middle school and, with those electives that they chose, it's going to be a smooth, ride, after that. It'll be fine. So, this is the time you want to explore with your child on some of their interests.
That's a good point, Daisy. It is a fun time. It seems stressful, but it's all for exciting new changes.
All right, so we want to hear from you. Please complete this short 3-question survey. Now, Debbie's putting it in the chat box.
And done.
Okay, thank you, Debbie. And those questions are, what did we do well? What could we have done better? What future sessions would you like to see? Now, these sessions are for you, families, so please share your thoughts. Your comments are very important to us. Also, if you would like for us to have an open discussion on this topic, like a coffee chat, and perhaps even invite maybe a counselor so they can answer a lot of those questions that came in. And again, we'll be answering as many as we can. And if they're campus specific, we'll let you know this is probably something that needs to be asked, at your transition night. But, all your questions that you provided, they will go out in a follow-up email.
That's right. And remember again, everything that you put in the chat that we didn't get to answer will be in that follow-up. And so make sure that you give us your email address in the survey so we can send that stuff to you. And I just put it in the chat too, that if you need to stay longer after our scheduled time, this is a huge group and we've got lots of questions. I saw a couple of comments saying, wait, I still have more questions. So we're going to be here and stay here. We only scheduled 30 minutes. So we want to honor the time for those of you that feel comfortable leaving, but definitely stay online with us and let's talk. And I think we all just need community right now.
That's for sure, Debbie. We all need that interaction with parents. Email is a great way. Let's stay connected. If you are on Facebook or Twitter, follow us at Parent Programs before you leave tonight. Now, Round Rock ISD has an app for your phone. You can check it often for the latest updates. You can find the schools right there and explore what they have offering right now. It really is helpful, especially if you have more than one student in the district. It's just everything is in one place. So please download it today. And check out our parent programs website for future events, things like this and coffee chats or the events. We have resources for pre-K and early readers, an interactive guide coming up for high school, and so many helpful tips and videos as well. You can find us online at parentprograms.roundrockisd.org. We will enter the website in the chat so you can have it handy. Thank you. And like we mentioned before, we will be sending you materials and links to all sorts of resources available to help guide you through this. You're not alone, as well as the answers to questions from tonight. We hope this session was useful for you and your family. We love having you here and with the students as well. We're happy to stay for another 10, 15 minutes. We want to honor your time as well. If you'd like to share some questions, comments, experiences, we'd like to hear from you all.
Yes, thank you, Alejandra. So your middle school experience with your child is going to be amazing. So enjoy it. Thank you, and we hope to see you really soon.
Yes, thank you all for being here. We are in this together. We're sticking around. We still have a lot of people asking questions. And also, if you haven't filled out the 3-question survey, there's still time. I'm going to stick it in right now. We really appreciate you taking the time to do that so we can know how best to help you.
Absolutely. On behalf of Round Rock ISD parent programs, we want to thank you for joining us this evening. Have a great night.